In the year 2435, Earth had transformed from an isolated blue planet into a central hub of interstellar innovation and diplomacy. The human race, having conquered the challenges of interplanetary travel, established colonies as far as the TRAPPIST system, known for its 7 Earth-like planets. This era of expansion, however, soon attracted the attention of the Galran Empire, a conglomerate of alien civilizations that ruled a significant portion of the galaxy with an iron grip. The Empire, intrigued and threatened by the rapid technological advancements of humanity, began to probe the defenses of the human colonies. These incursions were subtle at first. Unmarked scout ships observing from a distance intercepted communications that hinted at surveillance, but as their frequency increased, it became clear that Earth was a target of interest. Earth's response was a blend of diplomacy and a display of military might. The United Earth Government, a body that represented humanity's interests across the stars, convened to address the growing alien threat. After heated debates and strategic evaluations, they decided that a strong, unequivocal message was necessary. The ultimatum was broadcasted galaxy-wide, encoded in every known communication frequency, and translated into myriad alien languages. It was a simple yet potent message. Stay away from Earth. Consider this not a threat but a promise. Any attempt to invade or undermine the sovereignty of Earth will be met with absolute resistance. This message was spearheaded by Admiral Catherine Miles, a veteran of space warfare and a hero among Earth's forces. Standing before the Interstellar Assembly, she declared, "Humanity stands united more than it ever has. We have reached out to the stars in peace, but make no mistake, we are ready to defend our home by any means necessary." As the message echoed across the galaxy, reactions varied. Many smaller, non-aligned planets saw Earth as a beacon of hope against the overreaching empire. Meanwhile, within the highest echelons of the Galran Empire, the ultimatum was received with a mix of derision and concern. Most dismissed the humans as upstarts, creatures from a backwater planet with delusions of grandeur. However, a few, like the cunning and ambitious Commander Vrex, saw an opportunity to make their mark by conquering Earth, thus defying the human warning. Despite the explicit warning from Earth, Commander Vrex of the Galran Empire saw an irresistible opportunity to elevate his status within the imperial hierarchy. Known for his ruthless tactics and ambition, Vrex viewed the human ultimatum not as a deterrent, but as a challenge to his abilities and the might of the Empire. Within the shadows of the Imperial Council, Vrex pitched his plan. He argued that Earth's audacity to issue such a warning was a sign of weakness, an overcompensation for their fear of the Empire's might. "They show their teeth only because they fear our bite," Vrex asserted confidently before the Council. His charisma and conviction swayed the Assembly, and he secured a fleet under the guise of a scouting mission to assess Earth's defenses. The fleet that Vrex assembled was formidable, equipped with the latest in stealth and warp technology. It comprised dozens of warships and thousands of troops, all under the command of Vrex, who was eager to demonstrate the futility of Earth's threats. As the fleet prepared to depart, Vrex broadcasted his own message among his ships. "Today we will show these humans that the galaxy belongs to the Galran Empire. Their blue jewel will be ours." As the fleet made its approach towards the solar system, Earth's long-range sensors picked up the anomaly in spacetime that signified a fleet entering from hyperspace. The response was swift. General alerts were sounded across all human colonies, and Earth's defense systems, a network of orbital platforms, and deep space drones were activated. Meanwhile, on Earth, military leaders convened emergency sessions. Admiral Catherine Miles, overseeing Earth's defense from the Strategic Command Center, coordinated the planet's response. The Situation Room was abuzz with activity as data streamed in from satellites and scout ships, painting a grim picture of the approaching threat. "Prepare all battalions for engagement. Activate the Sky Shield and ready the ion disruptors," Miles ordered, her voice resolute amidst the rising tension. Every unit, from the space fighters to the ground forces, was put on high alert. The planetary defense systems, designed to combat exactly this type of threat, were charged and aimed at the approaching Galran fleet. As the first Galran ships began to appear on the horizon of space, visible from Earth's moonbase, humanity braced for impact. Starfighters piloted by Earth's best, like Commander Lara Jensen, launched in tight formations, ready to intercept the invaders in the cold vacuum of space. As the first silhouettes of the Galran fleet pierced the outer edges of the solar system, Earth's defenders sprung into action. Commander Lara Jensen, leading the elite squadron of starfighters known as the Celestial Knights, soared into the void, her heart pounding with the rhythm of impending battle. Lara's voice crackled over the comms, filled with a calm resolve that belied the gravity of the situation. "Knights, Formation Delta, engage at will, protect our home." Her ship, sleek and armed to the teeth, darted ahead, followed closely by her squadron. They were the first line of defense, the tip of the spear against the Galran incursion. The Galran fleet, massive in scale, spread out as it approached, its ships unleashing a barrage of plasma beams and missile salvos. Earth's orbital defenses lit up in response, creating a dazzling display of countermeasures and return fire. The battle was not just a test of military might, but also of strategic acumen. In the chaos of the skirmish, Lara and her squadron maneuvered with precision. They slipped through enemy lines, exploiting weaknesses in the Galran formations. Each pass by the human pilots resulted in the destruction of key Galran assets. Lara herself targeted a Galran cruiser, releasing a volley of hyper-velocity missiles that sliced through the enemy hull, causing a chain reaction that left the cruiser crippled. Below, on Earth, Admiral Catherine Miles monitored the battle from the Strategic Command Center. The live feeds displayed a ballet of destruction and defiance. "Keep pressing, Knights. Reinforcements are on the way," she communicated, her voice a beacon of encouragement amid the tumult. The Galran commander Vrex watched from the bridge of his flagship, his expression darkening with each report of losses. This was not the quick victory he had envisioned. The resilience and cunning of the human forces were unlike anything he had encountered. In a moment of rage mixed with admiration, he ordered more ships into the fray, determined to crush the human resistance. Meanwhile, back in the fray, Lara's cockpit lit up with alerts as a Galran destroyer locked onto her. With a skilled roll and a burst from her thrusters, she evaded a lethal beam that would have ended her mission prematurely. Catching her breath, she lined up her next shot. This was her world, her sky, and she would defend it to the last. As the battle raged, the human forces slowly gained the upper hand. The combination of guerrilla tactics in space and the robust defense systems on Earth began to turn the tide. The Galrans, though numerous and well-equipped, found themselves faltering under the relentless assault of a united humanity. As the battle raged in the void, Commander Vrex, frustrated by the unexpected resistance, decided to escalate the conflict. He ordered the bulk of his fleet to converge directly on Earth, planning a full-scale assault that he believed would decisively overwhelm Earth's defenses. "Initiate the ground strike protocols," he commanded, his voice echoing with authority through the fleet. Vrex's strategy was clear. A direct attack would either force Earth to capitulate or destroy its ability to resist. His fleet moved into a tighter formation, advancing as a single, overwhelming force towards the planet. On Earth, Admiral Catherine Miles received the troubling news of the impending direct assault. Her experience and intuition told her this was the moment to enact their last line of defense. "Activate the Sky Shield," she ordered, referring to Earth's experimental defense system, designed to create a disruptive energy barrier around the planet. The system had never been tested in combat on such a scale, and its activation filled the command center with a palpable tension. As the Galran fleet approached, the Sky Shield came to life. Massive generators stationed around Earth pulsed with energy, weaving together a lattice of high-energy particles that enveloped the planet. The effect was immediate and dramatic. The leading Galran ships, unprepared for the intensity and strangeness of the barrier, collided with the energy field. Explosions lit up the near space, sending shockwaves through the fleet. Within her starfighter, Commander Lara Jensen witnessed the destruction. "Nice shooting, Earth," she murmured, her spirits lifted by the sight of the Sky Shield holding. With renewed vigor, she and her squadron redoubled their efforts, swooping through the disoriented Galran lines, targeting key ships that were attempting to regroup and penetrate the barrier. Meanwhile, Vrex watched in fury and disbelief from his flagship. The Sky Shield was more effective than any had anticipated, his ships unable to breach it without sustaining severe damage. "Focus fire on the generator nodes," he bellowed, directing his fleet's firepower towards the visible structures on Earth's surface that powered the shield. Back on Earth, Admiral Miles was steps ahead. She had anticipated such a move and had deployed ground and air units to protect the generators. General Ravi Singh, commanding the ground forces, coordinated the defense around each node. Troops fortified positions, and anti-aircraft systems locked onto incoming targets. The battle on Earth was as fierce as the one in space. Galran dropships, managing to penetrate the shield at weaker points, released troops and mechs into Earth's atmosphere. They were met by human forces ready for ground combat. In the ruins of what was once Los Angeles, a fierce battle unfolded. Ravi led his troops personally, moving through the rubble, engaging enemy soldiers with precision and tactical acumen. The confrontation on Earth became a brutal test of endurance and strategy. Human forces utilized their knowledge of the terrain, setting ambushes and traps that halted the Galran advance. Above them, the sky crackled with energy as the battle continued, a testament to the high stakes of this galactic confrontation. As the day wore into night, the outcome of the battle remained uncertain. Both sides had sustained heavy losses, but Earth's defenders were not merely fighting. They were protecting their home, their families, and their way of life. This resolve turned what might have been a swift conquest into a quagmire for the Galrans, whose underestimation of Earth's capabilities continued to cost them dearly. The ruins of Los Angeles proved a formidable battleground as General Ravi Singh and his troops engaged in a relentless defense against the Galran forces. The Galrans had expected an easy victory, believing their superior numbers and advanced technology would quickly overwhelm Earth's scattered defenders. However, the humans fought with a fierce determination fueled by the fight for their very survival. As the night deepened, the skirmishes intensified. Ravi maneuvered his forces expertly, using the city's devastated infrastructure to their advantage. Snipers took positions in the shattered remains of skyscrapers, while infantry units moved through the underground metro systems, emerging to strike at the Galrans unexpectedly. Meanwhile, Commander Lara Jensen continued her aerial assault, swooping down to provide close air support to Ravi's ground forces. Each pass of her starfighter sent a wave of relief through the human ranks and a ripple of fear through the Galran invaders. Her precise strikes provided much-needed reprieve for the troops on the ground, allowing them to regroup and counterattack. Back in orbit, the situation was equally dire for the Galran fleet. Admiral Catherine Miles, observing the battle from her command center, coordinated both space and ground operations with a calm yet commanding presence. The Sky Shield, while partially compromised, continued to disrupt the Galran assault, forcing them to engage in smaller, more manageable skirmishes. In a desperate bid to turn the tide, Commander Vrex deployed his elite shock troops, known for their brutality and effectiveness in close combat. These troops landed near the strategic points around the generator nodes, clashing violently with Earth's defenders. The fighting became hand-to-hand in several areas, the outcome balancing precariously on the edge of a knife. On the ground, Ravi led a critical counter-offensive. He rallied his troops, pushing them to hold the line at the northern sector, where the Galrans were making significant inroads towards a critical generator node. "Hold this line. Our families, our homes depend on us today," he bellowed over the din of battle. The humans responded with a roar, their morale boosted by Ravi's leadership. They pushed back with everything they had, utilizing makeshift explosive devices and commandeered Galran weaponry. Each human soldier fought not just as a unit but with a personal stake in the outcome. As dawn broke over the battered landscape, the tide seemed to turn. Earth's forces, though weary and reduced in numbers, managed to push back the Galran troops from several critical areas. The combination of fierce ground resistance and the strategic aerial assaults by Lara's squadron slowly but surely began to erode the Galran's operational capabilities. Commander Vrex, watching the setback from his command ship, felt a growing sense of desperation. His fleet was caught in the gravitational pull of Earth's resolve, and his ground forces were faltering under the unexpected tenacity of the human defenders. Faced with mounting losses and the potential of a full retreat, Vrex made the call to regroup, intending to consolidate his forces for one final decisive assault. However, Earth's defenders were not about to give him that chance. As Vrex's troops withdrew to regroup, Ravi seized the opportunity. He orchestrated a massive coordinated strike, combining the efforts of all remaining ground and air units. This bold move aimed to not only repel the current invasion but to cripple the Galran's ability to make another. Commander Vrex watched from the command deck of his flagship as his ground forces began their strategic withdrawal under intense pressure from Earth's defenders. His frustration boiled over into rage. This was not the quick victory he had promised the Galran Empire. Instead, his troops were being pushed back by a supposedly inferior species. Vrex knew he needed to change his tactics quickly or face a humiliating defeat. In space, the Galran fleet was reeling from continuous assaults by Earth's fighters. Commander Lara Jensen's squadron had become a legend among both human and Galran ranks, her name whispered with a mix of fear and respect. Lara led her team in a series of daring raids that targeted the Galran fleet's command and control capabilities, significantly disrupting their operational efficiency. On Earth, General Ravi Singh's counteroffensive had gained momentum. His forces, motivated by their recent successes, pushed forward with renewed vigor. Ravi, aware that the Galrans were regrouping for another push, planned to exploit this moment of weakness. He coordinated with Admiral Catherine Miles to synchronize their next moves, ensuring that space and ground operations would deliver a crippling blow to the Galrans. Admiral Miles, from her command center, analyzed the shifting battle data. She noticed a pattern in the Galran fleet's movements and identified a vulnerability in their flank. Quickly, she relayed this intelligence to Lara. "Jensen, there's a weak spot in their eastern quadrant. If you can get a squadron there, it could make all the difference." Lara acknowledged the command with a determined nod, despite the fatigue that tugged at her. She rallied her squadron, briefing them on the critical strike. As they rocketed towards their target, the weight of their mission was palpable. This was their chance to turn the tide definitively. Meanwhile, on the ground, Ravi's troops executed a feigned retreat, drawing the Galran forces into a narrow urban corridor. It was a risky maneuver, but Ravi trusted his soldiers' discipline and the strategic placement of their defenses. As the Galrans advanced, they walked right into an ambush. From hidden positions, Earth's defenders unleashed a barrage of firepower, trapping the Galran forces in a lethal crossfire. Caught off guard, the Galran ground troops scrambled to respond. Their commanders called for air support, but the chaos above left them without the quick reinforcements they desperately needed. The Earth forces, sensing their advantage, pressed harder, determined to break the enemy's spirit. Above the planet, Lara's squadron reached the identified weak spot in the Galran formation. With precise coordination and flawless execution, they launched a devastating attack. Explosions ripped through the Galran ships, sending shockwaves through their ranks. The damage was severe, crippling their ability to maintain formation and effectively ending their capability to support their ground forces. Commander Vrex, witnessing the disarray of his fleet and the encroaching defeat of his ground troops, felt a sinking realization. His ambition had led to this disastrous moment. With a heavy heart and a bitter taste of defeat, he issued the order that he had hoped never to give. "All units retreat. Regroup at Rally Point Sigma." As the Galran forces began their retreat, Earth's defenders allowed themselves a brief moment of resounding cheer. However, both Lara and Ravi knew that the battle was not yet over. They needed to ensure that the Galrans could not return. Lara's squadron continued to harry the retreating ships, while Ravi's troops secured the critical areas on the ground, capturing valuable resources and prisoners, including some of the Galran commanders. This significant victory marked a turning point in the conflict, showcasing Earth's strategic prowess and the indomitable spirit of its people. The message was clear. Earth was a fortress, protected by its ingenious defenses and the unbreakable will of its defenders. As news of the victory spread, it bolstered the morale of the entire planet and sent a powerful message across the stars. Following the decisive victory against the Galran fleet and ground forces, Earth's moment of triumph resonated throughout the galaxy. Commander Vrex's capture and the significant losses incurred by the Galran Empire became a testament to human resilience and strategic capability. The events were broadcast galaxy-wide, a clear message that Earth was not only capable of defending itself, but also a formidable power in the galaxy. Admiral Catherine Miles addressed the interstellar community shortly after the victory. Standing in the Strategic Command Center, with a backdrop of the Earth's defense systems powering down and the debris of the battle still visible in space, she delivered a powerful speech. "To all civilizations across the galaxy, let this victory show you the spirit and resolve of Earth. We seek peace, we strive for cooperation, but we will defend our sovereignty with unmatched vigor." Her message was a diplomatic olive branch to peaceful races, but a stern warning to any who might still consider Earth a target. The spectacle of the defeated Galran forces, especially the sight of their once feared commander in custody, underscored her words with undeniable authority. On Earth, the public reaction was a mix of celebration and somber reflection. Cities around the globe held parades and public gatherings, not only to honor the brave souls who defended their home, but also to commemorate those who had fallen. Lara Jensen and Ravi Singh became heroes of their time, their names synonymous with courage and tactical genius. In the Galactic Assembly, reactions were mixed. Many smaller, non-aligned worlds expressed their admiration and support for Earth, viewing it as a bulwark against the tyranny of larger empires like the Galran. Meanwhile, other major powers reassessed their stance on Earth, wary of provoking a similar response. Back on the Galran homeworld, the defeat sparked a political crisis. The ruling council faced outrage over the ill-fated campaign, with many questioning the wisdom of provoking Earth. The Empire's internal focus shifted from expansion to stabilization, as leaders worked to prevent a fracture within their own ranks. As Earth fortified its defenses and expanded its surveillance network, it also initiated a series of diplomatic missions aimed at building alliances. The United Earth government invited representatives from various civilizations to Earth for talks on mutual protection and trade agreements. This new role as a galactic mediator was enthusiastically accepted by many, who were eager to align themselves with a rising power that had proven its mettle. The victory and subsequent diplomatic initiatives marked a new era for Earth in interstellar politics. The planet was no longer seen just as a member of the galactic community, but as a key player whose actions could shape the galaxy's political landscape. This shift did not come without challenges. Earth's leaders had to navigate complex interstellar politics, balancing their newfound status with their traditional values of freedom and self-determination. The military, too, had to adapt to its role not just as a defender of the planet, but as a force capable of projecting power and ensuring peace. In the weeks following the defeat of the Galran forces, Earth underwent significant changes both internally and on the interstellar stage. The victory had not only secured Earth's safety, but had also propelled it into a position of respect and authority within the galactic community. Admiral Catherine Miles, now regarded as a visionary military leader, took the lead in reinforcing Earth's defenses. She oversaw the expansion of the Sky Shield technology and initiated the development of newer, more advanced weapons systems. Her foresight ensured that Earth would not be caught off guard again. On the diplomatic front, the United Earth government, under the leadership of President Anaya Singh, embarked on a series of diplomatic missions aimed at forging alliances with other civilizations. The message was clear. Earth was open for collaboration and trade but remained vigilant and prepared to defend its sovereignty. These efforts bore fruit quickly. Delegations from various planets arrived on Earth to discuss terms of mutual protection pacts, trade agreements, and technological exchanges. Earth's technology, particularly in defense and energy, became highly sought after, transforming its economy and boosting its technological sectors. General Ravi Singh, hailed as a hero, took on a new role as Earth's ambassador to the Galactic Assembly. His first-hand experience and tactical acumen in warfare gave him a unique perspective on security and peace, making him an influential figure in discussions about galactic stability. Meanwhile, Earth's cultural impact began to expand as well. Human art, music, and literature spread throughout the galaxy, celebrated for their expressions of resilience and hope. Earth became a cultural beacon, attracting visitors from across the stars, eager to experience the planet's rich heritage and vibrant society. However, the aftermath was not without its challenges. The devastation from the battle had left scars on Earth's landscape and its people. Reconstruction efforts were vast and costly, requiring significant resources and time. Environmental recovery programs were initiated, especially in areas like the ruins of Los Angeles, which had borne the brunt of the ground invasion. The victory also had profound effects on Earth's military personnel. Commander Lara Jensen, after a period of celebration, chose to lead a new initiative to train pilots and expand Earth's reconnaissance missions. Her experience became a cornerstone for the new generation of pilots, who were not just defenders but also explorers and ambassadors. The changes on Earth were mirrored by shifts within the Galran Empire. The defeat led to a re-evaluation of their expansionist policies. Under new leadership, the Empire began to explore diplomacy as a tool, engaging in talks with Earth and other powers. This shift marked a cooling of hostilities and the beginning of a potential era of peace. Years after Earth's pivotal defense against the Galran Empire, the galaxy stood transformed. Earth had not only emerged as a military power, but also as a beacon of diplomacy and cultural exchange. Its influence was felt in every corner of the galaxy, from the bustling trade routes to the quietest outposts. Under the leadership of President Anaya Singh, Earth's government continued to expand its diplomatic efforts. The establishment of the Earth Galactic Alliance, EGA, was a milestone, creating a forum where planets could discuss mutual concerns, collaborate on security matters, and engage in trade. The EGA quickly became a pivotal organization in galactic politics, promoting values of democracy, peace, and cooperation. Ambassador Ravi Singh, representing Earth in various interstellar negotiations, played a crucial role in mediating conflicts and fostering understanding among diverse alien species. His efforts were instrumental in several peace treaties, earning him a reputation as a peacemaker. Commander Lara Jensen, now Admiral Jensen, led Earth's expanded space fleet, which included exploration and peacekeeping missions. Earth's ships were often seen in distant parts of the galaxy, not as invaders but as protectors and researchers. Admiral Jensen's leadership style, focusing on respect for all species and proactive protection of weaker planets, redefined the role of a military leader in the galaxy. Culturally, Earth became a galactic hub. Its universities and research institutions were some of the most respected, attracting scholars and students from across the stars. Earth's art and music festivals drew visitors by the thousands, eager to experience the richness of human creativity. However, this era of peace and prosperity was not without its challenges. The scars of the past battles with the Galran Empire were a constant reminder of the fragility of peace. Earth's leaders worked tirelessly to balance military preparedness with diplomatic outreach, ensuring that they remained ready for any threat without returning to a stance of aggression.